Hi, how are you? I'm Anthony from Cypher House Escape, and I'm back with some more of the CMU Oregon Trail puzzle hunt. At the end of the last video, we had successfully solved 7 of the feeder puzzles, and there's 3 more that are currently unlocked, so I'm going to take a look at those and see what kinds of puzzles we can solve today. Alright, time to start the timer, and we'll get started. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Okay, so I still have Honest Poker and Imposters Among Us open up from the last video. We did just unlock Grocery List, so I'm going to open that one up. To stock up on supplies for their journey, the travelers are putting together a grocery list. So I'm actually kind of interested in all 3 of the puzzles that I currently have unlocked, but I think I want to focus on Imposters Among Us just because I like Among Us just as much as everybody else likes Among Us, so I want to see what this puzzle's about. 10 bandits have infiltrated your cavern. They've tried to fit in with the others in their wagon, but haven't quite done it perfectly. Okay, so 10 bandits is probably trying to mimic the 10-player maximum in Among Us. So it looks like we're starting out with 2 different columns of clues. So I guess I'm just going to go through and try to solve as many of these as I can, and we'll see where we go from there. So it looks like the comedian is Arsenio. Okay, so this column could be ordered alphabetically. An infant is a baby. What you might say if it's really cold. Is it just burr? Chicken wings seasoning named after a city. After a city? Buffalo. Columbus is the capital of Ohio. An archaic way to express outrage. I don't know if I know that one off the top of my head. Stare open-mouthedly is probably gape. Apparently a quarter of a pint is a gill, G-I-L-L. It secretes chemicals like sweat, say. A gland, I think. Like Jennings in Jeopardy or Gretzky in hockey. Oh, MVPs, I think. Maybe? It says it's an abbreviation. Monty of Let's Make a Deal is Hall. Actor Carey is Jim. So this only looks like the first half of the alphabet, so the entire list might be alphabetized. What a detective follows. Clue? No. Lead? Clicking on one might lead to a rickroll. Link. First planet. Mercury. Biblically, what Moses did to the Red Sea. Part. Short sleeve buttoned shirt. Polo. GLaDOS game is Portal. Halloween vegetable is pumpkin. 25 cents is quarter. Earthquake scale is the Richter scale. 8 notes in an octave perhaps I think is a scale. Relating to sound. Sonar? Like Pennsylvania into Wisconsin in US elections. Swing. And I can be this to the soul window. Okay, so we have most of the answers here, and now the question is, what do we do with these? 10 bandits. How many clues are there? Okay, there's 40 clues, and it says there's 10 bandits, so I would guess that there's 4 clues per bandit. So I'm thinking maybe we need to sort these into sets of 4. But then one of the 4 isn't going to be quite the same as the other ones. Yeah, so I think I'm actually seeing a couple possible categories already. A detective follows a lead, but that's also how you spell lead. And the first planet is Mercury, but Mercury is also an element. So I'm thinking one category might be elements. I was also thinking explorers could be one, so we have Columbus, but we also have Polo, as in Marco Polo. There's also tin down here, which is another element. Okay, so maybe I should start sorting these. I'm going to try to get a few more of these answers right before I start sorting. So gather into storage, I think, is garner. Archaic way to express outrage. Oh, it might be phi. Okay, if you concoct a planet's hatch. Polka dots. Mexican sauce is salsa. The golf stroke is a slice. And to follow somebody in a car is to tail them. Okay, so the only one that I'm missing is this, like, Jennings in Jeopardy or Gretzky in hockey. I know that it starts with a G, but I don't know what it is beyond that, and that it's an abbreviation. So I'm just gonna start sorting things. So first up is elements. We have lead, mercury, and tin. Did we have any other elements? So it does say that they didn't quite fit in with the other members of their wagon. So maybe one of these is an element, but it's just off by a letter. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think that is what's happening. Because one of the other categories is explorers. And we know that Columbus is part of it because of Christopher Columbus, and Polo for Marco Polo. I also just found that Sir Francis Drake is one of the most famous explorers, so I'm going to put Drake in there. But the real kicker is that another really famous explorer is Cortez, which is Coates, but with the A changed to an R. How we eventually sort these, I'm not completely certain of yet. But I guess that's something I'll figure out once I put some more groups together. I think I did just find another one, though. There's dances in here, like polka and salsa. Is there another dance in here somewhere? Oh, swing dancing. Okay, so those are the three normal ones. I don't know what the missing dance is. One of these is going to be off by a letter somewhere. I'm thinking vice presidents might be another one because we have Gore and Pence here. Oh, Burr. Okay, so Burr could be the one that's off because that's off by a letter. It's B-U-R-R. Garner. John Garner was vice president. I'm thinking another one could be types of antelopes because Impala's here. And we could also make eland if we change the G in gland. But I haven't found others yet. I have to look up what others are called. It could just be like other wild creatures of Africa, in which case buffalo might also kind of fit the bill. I did just figure out that Arsenio is arsenic for our elements category. And I think I'm seeing how we're going to sort these. Arsenic, Burr, and Cortez start with A, B, and C. So I'm thinking that we might be sorting these alphabetically. I'm starting another chart over here to sort these differences in letters. So currently we have O-R-A if we're taking these letters, or C-U-R if we're taking these ones. I think this looks more promising so far. If I'm correct about gland changing to eland, then I wonder if I use that as the G entry or as the E entry. I think another one of these might be like parts of a fish. Like we have gill, gland, as well as tail and scale. Maybe gland isn't part of a fish. But we have phi could be fin. I think I'm going to take these four and make these the part of the fish category. I have noticed that so far the categories that these things seem to go into seem to have nothing to do with the actual clue itself, which in some cases was a giveaway because I knew, lead could be lead or lead, and since I know that they gave the definition for lead, and similarly, since, the definition for mercury had nothing to do with the element itself, I'm pretty confident that that category is correct. So if I can find maybe a second use for one of these words that doesn't have to do with its definition, that could be a good place to start. Sometimes for this kind of thing, the disambiguation page of Wikipedia is helpful. Actually, I just came up with a really interesting idea. So if this is like Among Us, then there are two imposters, and in Among Us, the imposters are specific colors. I just realized that we could spell orange with these changed letters from these words here. Then this could be another color. Could be blue. So I noticed if we change this U to an I, we get Ike. And maybe another category is like Nintendo Swords players, like Swords characters. We have Link and we would have Ike. Okay, so I'm adding my guesses into here in lowercase letters just to indicate that I'm not quite sure that these are correct. I'm pretty sure that this column spells blue and orange, and this column's gonna spell our answer. Unless orange blue is the answer itself. That feels weird. Is that it? No. Ah, so I don't think this is Sonal. I think this is Sonic. And I just saw that Richter is also part of the Super Smash Bros. Series, along with Link and Ike. So I think we have this set here. Okay, I think I'm going to bring down the guesses that I had before for like African animals. But I'm still missing one. I don't know what it is. Oh, could Jim be Jig as another dance? That would mean that we have a G at the end of our message. This could be the color plum. Gape could change to gate. So that spells current. If Dean changes to deer. It could be current fig. If we change the the L in Hall to an F for half. Could it be current fig? I'm gonna try current fig. Look at the original letters as well. So that was orange, plum, current fig. Keep going. Okay, so we're on the right path. Orange, plum, current fig. Oh, they're all part of another group, right? They're all fruits. Is fruit the answer? Isn't current spelled with an A, though, if these are all fruits? Yes, it is. So wait, is current the answer? Because it's the one that's different. Yes! Okay. And so we can turn that one green and unlock falling rocks. Time is just about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay. So kind of like with the final category of the You've Died of Dysentery puzzle, I want to take a quick look at the solutions for the imposter puzzle to see what those missing groups were, because I was staring at those for quite a while. So Jennings and Jeopardy and Gretzky and Hockey were goats. What's that an abbreviation for? Ah, GOAT is an abbreviation for greatest of all time. Okay, the categories were elements, which we got, Super Smash Bros. Characters, dances, vice presidents, parts of a fish, explorers, so we got all those. Bovids, okay, so those were the animals. Buffalo, goat, impala, and eland. Terms of endearment, baby, honey, pumpkin, and deer. Oh, that makes sense. Portions of a whole. This one crossed my mind, but I couldn't quite get there. Part, quarter, slice, and half. And then openings, hatch, portal, window, and gate. Okay. Sounds good. Alright, so I think it's time to start the timer again and pick another puzzle. 1, 2, 3, here we go. The puzzle that we unlocked is Falling Rocks. So what's this puzzle look like? Oh no, the rocks are falling down. All rocks are either horizontal or vertical and consist of 4 or more stones. Figure out what remains after all rocks have fallen. Okay, so this looks like some kind of... like I'm getting almost like Candy Crush vibes. Like I feel like I'm supposed to find words in this set of letters. And then once I find them, I delete those letters. And all the letters fall down. Actually, I almost see Pebble here. So like if I can get rid of these 2 A's in the middle and this I, then we'll have Pebble with this E down at the bottom. So they could all be kinds of rocks. This puzzle looks interesting, so I think this is the one that I'm going to work on. I'm going to transfer everything into a sheet. I'm pretty sure I'm looking for words that either mean rock or have to do with rocks. So I also see, like, I almost have sapphire here. If I can get rid of these 6 letters in between. Oh, that almost looks like obsidian. If I can get rid of the letters below that. I think as I find these words, I'm going to try to color them roughly how I think they're going to be ordered. So like obviously sapphire could go with this, maybe this E at the bottom instead of this E here. But I'm just going to kind of roughly color things as I see them. Oh, I see marbles running backwards here. Okay, so I think marble is going to be our first word to be eliminated down there. So I think what I'm going to do is take this entire set, just so that I can retrace my steps backwards if I mess something up. I'm going to get rid of marble down here, and then bump all of these columns down where marble used to be. Okay, so that now gives me obsidian as my next stone. Oh, actually I had sapphire last round too, and this has removed sapphire. I wonder if I should remove both of those at the same time, possibly? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get rid of sapphire as well. So flint is another type of stone. I just noticed chalk is here as well. How are we gonna get rid of this Z? Oh, it's very close to quartz. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get rid of flint in this step. We almost have quartz here. I'm assuming it goes with that U. Ruby is just kind of sitting up there. Emerald. I just saw emeralds here. Is it going to be limestone? It could be limestone after we get rid of pebble. But we also need this N. Well, that's an interesting problem. So I'm not immediately seeing a way to eliminate these in an order where they're all already aligned. So at the risk of possibly messing up the puzzle even further for myself, I think I'm going to take a risky move and try deleting all of the letters for these words that I currently have, just to see what happens. I'm going to get rid of pebble, I'm going to get rid of chalk, limestone, and quartz. And I'm going to let all of the other pebbles fall down to take their places, and we're going to see what we're left with. I don't know if I just messed up the puzzle for myself or not. I guess we'll soon see. May as well get rid of ruby too while we're here. Okay, so what else do I have here? Okay, I just saw pumice is in this column, which is a sort of volcanic rock. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting the remaining columns into a nutramatic search, basically searching for possible words that could be spelled reading across the various columns. And I just found that if we only use the last 5 columns, we can get slate, which is another kind of stone. And with the remaining columns that we have left, we can spell rhyolite, which is another kind of igneous rock. So it looks like tuff is another igneous rock that shows up in here. And then I'm thinking there has to be one in this column, but I just don't really see it. Ah, I see. So I can almost spell coal in this column, but I'm missing the O. And what's interesting is I eliminated an O in this column before with obsidian, and what's most interesting is that I misspelled obsidian, which could be the solution to all of the problems that I've been having getting things to line up with this puzzle. Obsidian is actually spelled with an A, not an O. So the only thing that was able to be eliminated in this round was actually sapphire. Then we can make coal right away, and similar we can make ruby right away. So I'm going to eliminate both of those in this next batch. That does cause obsidian to line up. So let's get rid of obsidian, so that then we can get rid of flint. Okay, and that lets quartz line up, which means pebble will then line up as well. Emerald lines up. Okay, so we can get rid of emerald next. And then it looks like limestone's going to line up next. We know we have pumice coming up, we know we have slate coming up, and we know we have tuff coming up. And we know we have rhyolite coming up. But we know that we should be able to get rid of something in here. Is that a word? Gravel! I forgot I could read backwards. Okay, so we can get rid of gravel and slate, which leaves us with what's hopefully the final answer of caldera, which I do have up actually on my other screen as something, one of the possible words that I could have formed before. It's a large cauldron-like hollow. It's a volcanic spot. Caldera's correct. Falling rocks changes to green, and that means little experiments changes to yellow, but more importantly, we've solved 4 of the feeder puzzles for meta puzzle number 2. So meta puzzle number 2 is unlocked now as well. Oh, my timer. 47 minutes for the Falling Rocks puzzle. So with that, we might be in a pretty good position to check out meta puzzle number 2. So stay tuned for the next video, and I'll probably take a look at that. So that wraps it up for today's video. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, happy escaping.